Hi there, this is Mathia Ford with RenalDietHQ.com, and today is a great day again. I want to talk to you about commonly prescribed medications for diabetes, heart disease, and mainly chronic kidney disease. As you may know, if you have it, there's a lot of conditions that can arise because of your chronic kidney disease. And there's a lot of things that you had maybe before your chronic kidney disease that will cause you to continue to need to take medications. So I wanted to talk about that today. Another thing I'd like to ask you, go into the Facebook page on renal, just facebook.com/renal diet. And there's a post in there that asks for AMA questions, which are Ask Me Anything questions. And I'd love to have your questions. I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything in about a week on the 18th. And I would love to have your questions to answer. I've gotten a couple that people have private messaged me, but I'd ask you to go ahead and put them in there too, and I will add those ones that were private messaged. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching today. So I want to talk about commonly prescribed medications for chronic kidney disease because I think it's important to realize that you're not alone, that there's a lot of other people who have kidney disease. There's a lot of people that take these medications, and they all affect us a little different, but your medications are very important. I'll tell you a little story. Yesterday, I was at the doctor with my father, and he is a veteran, so we were at the VA, and he has the most awesome cardiologist. But she was talking to him and asking him why there had been such a long period of time between his statin, which is like a Lipitor, refills. So she was like, you went for a long period of time without getting it refilled. You weren't taking it every day. And he said, well, I read on the internet that it might be bad and they might cause these problems. And her advice to him, which is the same advice I give to you, is first of all, before you decide to stop taking something, talk to your doctor about it and explain to them what you've read and let them, help you work through whether it's continues to be a good decision, or if those side effects that other people are reporting, if you happen to have those, if there's maybe a different medication. But don't just stop your medication because you read something or heard something like, on a video or something. But also, she said, a lot of times the potential side effects that happen to very few people are the outcomes that you get by taking the medicine and consistently and managing your condition are further and greater than those that are the risks that you're facing. So your risk may be 1%, very small, whereas you'll achieve a 50% reduction in your risk of a heart attack or stroke by continuing to take your low cholesterol medicine. So those are just made up numbers. I'm not quoting any research about the 50% and the 1%. I'm just saying she made a very good point that you shouldn't stop taking meds without talking to your doctor, and you shouldn't start over-the-counter meds without talking to your doctor. And sometimes you need to realize that the benefit to you outweighs the risk. And so you have to make that decision with your physician or your nephrologist, whoever it is. So I just wanted to tell you that little story because it reminds me that we all can hear new things and, misunderstand or not realize that how much effect it can have on us. So to the topic at hand, let's talk about medication for common side effects. So a big side effect that a lot of people with kidney disease have is water retention, fluid retention. So a lot of times you'll get a medication for fluid retention. And those can make you have to go to the bathroom more often or other side effects. But you certainly, if you have that, the fluid can be bad if it's in your extremities. It can cause puffiness and other things. So make sure you're taking that. But you may get something for that. A lot of people, when they have chronic kidney disease, because your kidneys are significantly involved in your blood anemia or your iron in your blood, you may have to take an iron supplement. You may take a different, multivitamin that has iron in it to help you maintain your iron levels. Anemia can cause you to be really tired and sluggish, so you want to make sure if you're starting to feel those side effects or those symptoms that you talk to your doctor and say, hey, I'm tired, hard to get moving, that type of stuff. Let your doctor know. Another thing that happens is sometimes you have electrolyte imbalances. So you may have a, too much potassium, too much phosphorus, whatever. So the doctor may give you some medications to help with that. And sometimes they'll do phosphate binders that you take when you eat, and that helps keep the phosphate in your food from going into your bloodstream and reduces your potassium and phosphorus levels. So let's see, what else? Oh, I was going to put for you the link to the page that I'm talking about. I usually just talk through some of my articles that I've written. That way I get a chance to kind of give you a better idea and a little more depth on than what the article got into. So another thing you might have is meds for your diabetes. So insulin or metformin or glucophage or other related medicines, those you can have potentially for your diabetes to keep it under control, and that's definitely something that you, before you change anything with that, you want to talk to your doctor. You might have medications for high blood pressure. Your doctor may want to keep your blood pressure under better control or stronger than what you had just before you started the kidney disease symptoms, because blood pressure can significantly affect your kidneys. So you might have ACE inhibitors, you might have beta blockers, vasodilators, all different kinds of stuff to help control your blood pressure. You may have cholesterol medication that to lower your cholesterol levels. You may have medications once you get on dialysis. So commonly on dialysis, they give you additional vitamin D, iron, erythropoietin, which helps you to make new blood cells, because the process of dialysis can affect your blood cells, and it helps decrease the risk of needing a blood transfusion. Dialysis just can be a little hard on your blood because it's running it through a filter every 3 days, or if you're doing home dialysis, it might be daily, overnight. So that can be hard on your blood cells. Okay, and then for transplants, you might have anti-rejection medications. You may have different immunosuppressant drugs that you're taking, and those are very important to take because it keeps your transplant from being rejected, which you don't want to happen. And then another thing I wanted to mention is that if you have over-the-counter meds, or if you start something new, like my dad started taking turmeric for his joint pains, and it's not that I'm recommending turmeric because I'm not, but you need to talk to your doctor before you take on any of those medicines, because those can affect, some of them can affect your liver, some of them can affect your kidneys. So any over-the-counter medicines you're taking, herbals, supplements, vitamins, all of those, make sure you've let your doctor know that you're taking them and ask them, are these going to affect my kidneys? And before you start anything new, strongly recommend you talk to your doctor. Just don't have to have an appointment. You can usually just call and say, hey, I'm considering taking this. Is this okay? Am I going to affect my kidneys? So those are the things I wanted to talk about with you today, and I appreciate you watching. I love the response I've been getting to these go lives, so keep them coming. Put your comments below and let me know, and tell me what other topics you'd love to hear about. And if you're interested, go ahead over to renaldiethq.com and click on one of the buttons at the top of the page and say, hey, I'm interested in a meal plan for kidney disease, and you'll get one sent over to you for 7 days for free. And then from that, you can see what else you'd like to do. So thanks for listening today, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.